Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this episode of The Dan Dawson Show. So, I want to go ahead because it keeps going on and jump in on the Ice Cube controversy and where people are coming out and calling Ice Cube traitor to his race and coon and house Negro. You're the exact same people in the 60s who would have called Malcolm the same thing. Because Cube pretty much quoted Malcolm. Don't vote for Democrats just because they're Democrats, because they ain't doing nothing for you. Put that in your pipe and smoke it. See, that's one of the big problems as a black community, is that we get too emotional. Cube's a sellout. Cube's horrible, and we have to call Ice Cube out. I saw the little YouTube commercial that was put out, the little YouTube video. And you'll notice they let off with a white guy calling Ice Cube a sellout for talking to Trump and Republicans, even though he secured $500 billion. Now notice, the reason Nancy Pelosi won't pass the stimulus plan is because she wants, $500 billion, $1 trillion for illegal immigrants? And Trump said no. But when Ice Cube approached her for help for black people, she said wait till after the election. But she won't even give millions of Americans help unless there's help for illegal immigrants. And she wouldn't even give you the time of day. She said wait till after the elections. You know what's going to happen after the elections. It'll go away. So Cube said to hell with it. Hey, Trump offered me, help on this, and I'm going to go with Trump. I'm going to accept his offer. And still we have Negroes saying Cube's a sellout. We have people questioning his loyalty to the black community. Even though Ice Cube has been giving back to the black community and trying to educate the black community since the 90s. When some of you weren't even born, and those of you that were still to this day do nothing for the black community. I see things like, oh, he thinks white. He should, dummy. What is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? What is wrong with you people? I mean, it gets frustrating. It gets frustrating to the point of, it's like, man, really get it together, black people. Let's really get it together. Cube did the right thing. Cube did the right thing. He said, hey, I need this for poor black communities. Trump said, hey, okay, cool, I'll give it to you. Nancy Pelosi said, nah, you go over there somewhere. Talk to us later. We got to get this $1 trillion for these illegal immigrants before we lift a finger to help you, Negroes. I tell you, and that brings me to why I love Joe Biden. I appreciate Joe Biden. Because Joe Biden is telling you exactly what the Democrat Party thinks of you. Hillary Clinton tried to tell you last election, right? When she was on the Charlemagne the God show. That sellout because he'll come out and say, make them earn your vote and then toss it over to Biden. Whatever, man. Get the fuck out of here. I carry a bottle of hot sauce in my purse. That's all I need to win the black vote. That's all she needs. She has a bottle of hot sauce. And we go falling right in line like little ants. The ants go marching 2 by 2. Hoorah. Hoorah. The ants go marching 2 by 2. They'll vote for Biden. They don't care about you. The ants go marching 2 by 2. Hoorah. Biden actually came out on also the Charlemagne the God show. Imagine that. An all-black show, right? He came out and said, if you don't know whether to vote for me or Trump, you're not black. And Charlemagne didn't even bother checking him. Charlemagne, I guess, not so the God now. If you were really Charlemagne the God, you would have checked him right there. And then, not even that. Biden comes out, Joe Biden comes out 2 weeks later and says, well, you have to really do stuff and appeal to the Hispanic community because they're not a monolith like the black community. And the killer part about it, he wasn't wrong. Joe Biden was right. Because if you'll look, since 2000, at least 2000, I look back a little bit and you look at these elections, and blacks have voted 80 to 85% Democrat. It's like we can't think outside that little Democrat box. And when one of us does, oh my God, he's a sellout. He's a house Negro. But you people are the ones staying on the plantation. I'm not even saying don't vote Democrat. If you think Democrats are going to do the best for you, then vote Democrat. I'm saying have an open mind about it. And don't vote Democrat just because you're black and that's what you've been told. It's ridiculous. Give you the perfect example. No other race votes in the percentages that blacks do for the Democrats. And blacks get the least help from the Democrats. You have Democratic leaders who won't even stay in the districts they represent because they're so run down. Think about that. They won't even stay in your black districts because they've run them down and robbed them so much. Meanwhile, if you look at the beginning of COVID, the China virus, Nancy Pelosi, who's a representative from San Francisco, right? A congresswoman from San Francisco, California. When Chinatown got on the phone and said, hey, our tourism is dying, our shops are closing, you need to get down here and do something. She hopped a flight from D.C. and flew to San Francisco and then cut a television ad for him and then made sure it was on the news as you know, that day, because she knew they weren't joking. If you don't do something for us, we'll vote for someone else. They don't worry about that with black people because they know what black people are going to do. You're going to go out and you're going to vote Democrat. And any black that doesn't want to vote Democrat, they don't even have to worry about it because the other blacks are going to pull them back in line. Legacy of slavery. It's the plantation mentality. Tell me that's not a plantation mentality. You don't want to vote Democrat, so you're a sellout, you're a coon, you're a traitor to your race. Instead of just saying, okay, well, you know, he has his own thing and he doesn't want to vote for Democrats. Why can't we as a people do that? What is that mentality about? Hey, and I don't judge any black person that wants to vote Democrat. Maybe you have your reasons. Maybe you're a union guy, but from what I'm understanding, a lot of the unions are now backing Trump. Maybe you're a big, I don't know, social services person. I don't know. Maybe you like being taxed. I really don't know. Whatever it is for you. You know, whatever you support. And if that's in the Democrat Party, then go vote for him. But don't judge black people who go vote for Republicans because that's where our best interests lay. I already cast my ballot. I voted Trump. Sure did. And it's funny because in the last election, I was like, this clown, man, this dude, ain't got no use for him. All right? It's like I hate Hillary. So I just didn't vote. But this time I made sure I voted for Trump. Because the Democrats, man, look at your cities. Look at Chicago. Chicago, where the murder rate was already one of the highest in the world. Not the nation, the world. Has gone up by 123%. LA, where the homelessness is out of control. San Francisco. Seattle. Seattle's not even a majority black city. It's just run by Democrats. So it kind of sucks. Because you can't go down there without seeing boarded up streets everywhere. It's crazy. You'll go out here and you support BLM and Antifa. But you won't say nothing when a black civil rights leader tries to organize a march for freedom of speech and young white Antifa members show up calling him a nigger. That's right. That's what they said. They called him a nigger and then knocked 2 of his teeth out. You won't stand up against that. Y'all, man, this is so clownish. It's so clownish. Get your act together. If you're going to be a strong black man, hey, be a strong black man. I'll tell you what. I won't even put it like that. If you're going to be a strong American man, be a strong American man. If you're going to be a strong American woman, be a strong American woman. But don't try to rope other people in with your foolishness, because some of us don't give a damn what you think. You ain't paying no bills in my house. I don't care. You know, you come up to me with that Uncle Tom shit, you likely get slapped in the mouth. Because if you run up on me with the N word and you go to swing back, when you wake up, you'll regret that. I'm not having that shit. It is what it is. But it's gotten ridiculous. And it's like, we don't even realize. Ice Cube's trying to do something for the black community. Oh, no, we're not that. You know, we shouldn't. I wouldn't go to Trump. And that's what's wrong. Because the Democrats know you won't go anywhere else. It's like being in a relationship, right? Right? It's like being in one of those relationships where your girlfriend or your boyfriend goes out every Friday and Saturday and comes home the next day. Because they know you'll never leave. That's what the Democrats are doing to you. But do you know what happens in that relationship when you start going out on Friday and Saturday nights and you start coming home the next day? People pay attention to home. But not if you're just giving it to them for free without making them earn it. So they have no need to pay attention to you, black people. And they're not going to until something changes. I can't believe people are calling Ice Cube a sellout for saying the exact same thing Malcolm said. So stop pretending like you're some 1960s super black person, because you're not. Because you're the type of person who would have called Martin, because Martin said it, Malcolm said it. You're the type of person who would have called them sellouts and coons. Get off that damn plantation. I'm not saying don't vote Democrat. If they fit your interests, vote Democrat. But damn it, don't be trying to call other people out for not voting Democrat. It's ridiculous. And you should be ashamed of yourselves, and you should grow up. Stop listening to P. Diddy and T.I. Silly men. Silly. Because guess what? They'll talk all that crap, then send you to vote for Biden or Clinton. LeBron's the same way. And you know what they're going to be doing? They're going to be sitting in their mansions while there's little black kids in the street starving. And they do not give a damn. I'll tell you how I know. It goes for Jay-Z too. Because if all of them came together, they could fix our situation. Or they could help fix our situation. There's enough money and enough power there to do it. They're too worried about that next $1 million Maybach. That next $30 million mansion. While they get on their records and they get on their basketball courts and they sell you lies. Don't go for it. All right, my people. Hey, sorry I went off on a little rant. It's just kind of personal. Because I know they don't care. All these black people in Cuba's right. The Democrats don't care because they got all these black superstars on their squad out there running around saying, vote Biden. If they can't even tell you why. Kamala's the first black woman. She's not black. Stop. That's why Ice Cube changed it. You notice he didn't say people of color. He changed it to descendants of slaves. We need to make that distinction. Kamala Harris is not a descendant of slavery. She's a descendant of slave owners. People are silly. Just get it together. Think about it. Let me know in the comments below if you think I'm right or you think I'm wrong. Chances are, if you think I'm wrong, you want to make an issue of it, I really don't care. But thank you for watching this episode of the Dan Dawson Show. Like, subscribe, hit the notification button. Do what you got to do.